I know you brought this up to me. I honestly didn't even really know this was going on in the league. Davante Adams.
Yes.
A lot of stuff's going on with Tay Adams. If you want to elaborate on that.
Yeah, so I'm gonna just pull up some stuff really quick. So I'm on Twitter today as you're texting me, telling you want to do it a little earlier today and all that crap. And I'm just like, okay, I'm coming home, and then I open Twitter, and the first thing I see is stuff about Davante Adams, and I'm like, here we go. This is going to be another guy saying like a bunch of Steeler fans are going to be in the mentions saying, "Oh, we're going to get Davante Adams." It's going to be Brandon Ayuk all over again. And I'm not going to be I'm not going to be biased with the Steelers. This is not going to be a Steelers discussion. This is a Davante Adams discussion. So it came out. He was on the FanDuel, the K Adams show, discussing things. It came out yesterday that their head coach Antonio Pierce, who I think is a candidate to maybe get fired as well, the way the season's been going for the Raiders past the end of the year. And there was a post basically going around Instagram that said that Davante Adams has probably played his last snap with the Vegas Raiders, and their head coach liked the post. If you're a head coach, you cannot be liking Instagram posts that your players can see. He went on the show and practically was like, yeah, Ari Mirov, I think that's how he pronounced it. He basically tweeted, hashtag Raiders wide receiver Davante Adams says he hasn't heard from Antonio Pierce, who liked an Instagram post suggesting that Davante may have played his last down with Vegas. And in quote, Davante Adams said, there has been no communication with anybody from the team. So a lot of people are thinking Davante Adams is going to go. And we have a video up on the channel where I made a little PowerPoint presentation of like the Steelers, for example, need wide receivers. This is a guy that's always been in those talks. Like there's so many funny things popping up. There's a tweet right here. Davante Adams hamstring as soon as he's traded to the Jets. That's another team. And it's like Willy Wonka with his cane. And then he does the somersault and he's perfectly healthy. That's a team that is in the running for a Davante Adams, people think. I don't know if you saw this. BR Gridiron just posted an hour ago. Cordero Patterson of the Steelers said Davante Adams should become a Steeler on his Twitter. Yes. Cordero Patterson replied to something, and it's quoted here. It says, sounds like he wanted to be an at Steeler. So the Cordero Patterson already doing some recruiting there. Yeah, so here's like people are saying predictions. They're thinking it's going to be Steelers, Jets, Commanders. So like this guy right here, he has this is one of these. It says like 2,000 views, 272K. This is let's see here. One of these, like a fantasy guy. He said these are some of the fits he has. Most scary for NFL would be the Chiefs. Like I was talking about you, like not about you, but like to you about it. This is it. Like we were talking about it a couple minutes ago. This trade deadline, the Chiefs need a wide receiver. This would be scary. I know Nicholas just put in all caps, go anywhere but the Chiefs. Be prepared. I think we should all be prepared for something here. I don't think the Raiders trade in the division though, but we've seen it before. Then he said the next most scary for the NFL would be the Bills. Imagine him with Josh Allen. True. That would be pretty fun. He put fun as the Dallas Cowboys, realistic Pittsburgh Steelers, nostalgic would be the Jets because Aaron Rodgers, the Aaron Rodgers, Davante Adams connection in Green Bay. How cool would that be? Davante Adams, maybe Garrett Wilson. He put low-key fire Commanders with Jaden Daniels, and he also put also low-key fire the Lions. And then there's also low-key fire the LA Chargers. And then he goes, yay for aesthetics, the Ravens. He put shitty the Patriots, real shitty the Browns. Those are what people are thinking are the fits. Let's see, this is a Vegas Nation reporter. This guy is 65.5K followers. Vincent Bonsignor on Twitter says, more on this to come. A league source with knowledge of the situation confirmed that the Raiders are growing open to the idea of trading Davante Adams. The source said the club has begun reaching out to teams to gauge interest in the veteran wide receiver. So this is a guy that is going to possibly be traded. Like Nicholas, like he says, I don't think he'll go to a team with a solidified number one wide receiver because Davante loves to be the guy. I completely agree with that. ML Football says they post a lot of like rumors stuff, 270K followers. It's legit. The Steelers trading for Davante Adams makes all the sense in the world. They said Adams is a legit wide receiver one paired with George Pickens can be very special. The more weapons you can give a guy like Justin Fields, the more he will continue to blossom with that offense, especially with the coaching staff of Mike Tomlin. All NFL players usually want to play with Mike Tomlin. We saw with even Brandon Ayuk. They want to go play with a guy like Mike Tomlin. He's a coach. I'm not really high on Tomlin, but players are. He's a big players guy. But yeah, like the Raiders, they're already reaching out to teams supposedly via the Las Vegas Review-Journal. They're already gauging interest and are preparing to trade him, especially since their head coach last night hinted at this liking a post. I just want to hear your thoughts. I think it's very intriguing. It's an intriguing storyline. It came out today, and it's a thing where especially teams that are 3-1, they're still in contention. Some undefeated guys like the Chiefs, maybe they're in on this. Maybe they're going to be communicating with the Vegas Raiders. And I think the teams at the top of my head, if I'm naming 4, that makes sense. I'm not going to put it in order of if it happens. These are just the 4 teams that pop up. Pittsburgh Steelers, New York Jets, Washington Commanders, Kansas City Chiefs. Those are my 4 teams that I think could be in on this. So I'm going to throw it over to you.
I think that's a perfectly fine list. I think the Commanders just aren't ready to make that splash yet, right? I think they're doing enough with what they have yet. So I think that a team that is just so desperate for a wide receiver is Pittsburgh. And that's not me being biased and saying, oh, Pittsburgh needs a wide receiver because I want one. I think that Pittsburgh's a team that just straight up needs one more than anyone else. And Davante Adams wants to go to a team where he can be the wide receiver 1, where he can be the guy. He would be the guy in Pittsburgh. George Pickens would go back to being a wide receiver 2, which I think would make George Pickens pretty pissed off. And then we would have to deal with another Antonio Brown diva situation where he's pouting around and he doesn't want to be here anymore. So what comes with Davante Adams is a lot of head cases, because Davante Adams has never gone somewhere and been happy. You know, in Green Bay, he wanted out. Now in Las Vegas, he wanted out. Why did you even want to go to Vegas in the first place? To play with Derek Carr, who you knew that wasn't going to work out. So Davante Adams has always been a guy who I just haven't liked, just solely because he's just never happy and he always needs to be in the news. He's never happy. He's always complaining. He can never put the blame on himself. Did you watch the Receiver show on Netflix?
Not yet, but I've seen stuff.
The entire time, Davante Adams is literally just blaming his quarterback, blaming the coaching staff, blaming everyone else besides himself. Now, sure, it is not his fault, but as a professional, as a top receiver of all time, honestly, Davante Adams is probably top 10 all time. You got to have some self accountability, and I feel like Davante Adams has just straight up never had that, and I don't need that coming into the Pittsburgh Steelers locker room, because we already have enough cancer in that locker room as is. And it's finally kind of been weeded out. And, we had Deontay Johnson, who didn't want to be here last year. I don't want a guy who doesn't want to be here. I want a guy who straight up says, I want to be a Pittsburgh Steeler. Brandon Ayuk said, I want to be a Pittsburgh Steeler. I don't want to have to trade for Davante Adams and then him not want to be here. So I think that a team that makes sense, yeah, it sucks. It's probably the Kansas City Chiefs. That's a team that is straight up. If they lose one game, they're pissed off. Their expectations are to go 17-0 every year. And when they lose a game, they say, okay, we need to make a difference. We need to make a change. We're not ready to call this dynasty quits yet. We're going for that three-peat. Let's go out. Let's get Davante Adams. Let's make this team into what it used to be with Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce, because we all know Travis Kelce's on his way out. So we're not going to halt Mahomes' legacy yet. Let's get him a stud wide receiver to, do his career with, finish Adams' career with. You saw it with Randy Moss, who kind of, when he started going down in his career, he went to the New England Patriots, and then he his career took another skyrocket, and he was great on the Patriots. I think that would be very similar to what we would see if Davante Adams went to Kansas City. It would be so similar to Randy Moss going to New England and making a newfound dynasty with Tom Brady. I think that would be fun to watch for me. I think everyone else would hate it, but it's always cool to see a dynasty build up from where we saw it. I'm a Mahomes guy. I think that'd be fun, but yeah, I can see everyone else not wanting that.
Yeah, and here's the thing about Davante Adams too. A team that trades for him, people are saying keep in mind the $25 million cap hit.
Yeah.
He's a big cap. He's getting cash this year, 17.5, but his cap hit is $25,350,000. I don't know if I can share my screen really quick, but I found something I want to show you.
Can you click present?
I'm going to try this out.
Their screen.
Let's see here.
Should let you.
Do you see it?
Yep.
Pull that up. There you go. The jersey swap is already done. Here's Steelers trading for Davante, possibly. Here's some other stuff. Here's his cap hit, just for fun. It's down here, 23, 25-ish. It's going to be in that range. Yeah, and here's the thing about – yeah, here's – if you want to see the tweet, this is
full screen. Play this full. Or I don't know if we can hear audio. Yeah.
About you getting traded.
Can you hear it?
Yeah.
When you heard of that, I guess my first question is, how soon did you hear from Coach?
Yeah, I haven't heard from him. I haven't talked to him. So I haven't I don't know. I don't really know exactly what it was about. Obviously I got, social media is a beast, so it's a lot of people out there that saw it and wondering what's going on and people reaching out, and I haven't spoke to him.
Well, I'm surprised by that. I would think he'd hit. That's okay. Well, I would think he'd. I mean, you work together every day, so if that, I would say, right. oh shoot, I accidentally hit that. I unliked it. Now it's this huge story. Is that just kind of like what the dynamic is? That's not something that you want to hear from him?
Honestly, it's hard to comment on. I'm sure you would imagine as such, but it's one of those situations where I just keep my head down and keep doing my thing, and let the chips fall where they may, as it pertains to that. But I haven't. There's been no communication with anybody from the team since that became a thing. But it's kind of just like the weekly "What's up with Tay" thing. It's always some sort of drama, but at the end of the day, 1-7 doesn't create any of it. So.
Okay, so that's that.
Yeah.
So basically,
notice how he wasn't even wearing a Raiders shirt. He's wearing a Fresno State shirt.
And here's the Cordero Patterson thing that just came out. He wants it. But, those are the teams, right here. The guy from The Athletic. These are the three teams that people were saying. Jets, Steelers, Commanders. Uh-oh. So, those are the teams to look out for. But, like we said in that video, I'm going to stop sharing here very quick. Just like we said, those are the teams, and he looks like he doesn't know what's going on right now. And that's going to be a thing that is going to be a big story. It's going to be big, especially since there's no communication, it appears. He hasn't heard anything. This is going to be a big trade deadline thing. Last couple years ago is CMC getting traded from the Panthers. I think this is the big target for a lot of teams. My four, I think we agree on them too. Steelers, Chiefs, Jets, Commanders. Those are the four teams to look out for right now.
I can see Jets, so I could see him saying, "Okay, I want to go back to Aaron Rodgers."
I think honestly, the way the cap is, the Jets have more cap room, maybe can be more flexible with it, even though they don't have that $25 million available. But teams can easily do some things to restructure contracts or get rid of people on their current team, trade them. Because this is going to be a haul. It's probably going to be a couple picks, at least going back, at least a second rounder, in my opinion. Maybe an O-lineman or something, maybe throw another skill player in there. They're going to be wanting something. This is going to be more than what the Niners are probably getting for Ayuk. This is a guy that's probably going to be on that team for the next couple of years. But I really like the one guy I just saw on Twitter, the take of the nostalgia fit, the Jets. I think the Jets are the most perfect fit. Them and the Chiefs and the Steelers. Those are the three most perfect fits. Him with Garrett Wilson, Davante Adams is a wide receiver 1 over Garrett Wilson. Garrett Wilson will be a perfect WR2, and this is a guy that Garrett Wilson can learn under. I know Rodgers might like throwing to Davante Adams a lot more because of the connection, their history, but if the Jets want to be serious, this might be the guy to get. So that's some Davante Adams news. I thought that would be fun to talk about today just because very interesting stuff.
Like those headlines.
5 minutes later.
And being used by CJ.
Hold on here.
Uh-oh. What's going on?
I got to pull up X.
The
All right.
CMC issue?
We got breaking news here.
Uh-oh.
We have breaking news on the final whistle. First time it's happened all year.
Oh shoot.
We have breaking news here. I gotta pull this up.
What is this?
Davante Adams has officially requested a
There it
trade.
is. We just talked about
this. Hold on. We're gonna have to. Yeah, Davante Adams.
We just talked about this.
Has officially requested a trade from the Las Vegas Raiders. How about this?
There it is. We just talked about this. So I'm looking at those teams that I was just naming: Steelers, Jets, Commanders, and Chiefs. Those are the four to look out for, personally. And my bias is going to show Omar Khan. I'm saying a prayer. We need a wide receiver. please.
Ravens-
Please,
from
please.
Ian Rappaport says Davante Adams has officially requested a trade. How about this? Just as when we're talking about this, Davante Adams officially requests a trade. We'll search his name up here, see if we can find
Search
anything
him
else
up.
on that.
So this is a guy, while you search up some stuff, they need, like Nicholas is screaming, anyone but the Chiefs, please. He's a fit for a lot of
It is
teams.
again.
There it is.
Wow.
He's requested the trade, and you know what? Honestly, good for him. If he's
Wow.
not getting any communication from his own team, you have to if they're not giving you any input, I'd want to know what's going on too. His own head coach liked an Instagram post. Yeah, there's the Willy Wonka thing I saw. Like, that's what's gonna happen. His hamstring's gonna be miraculously healthy. Like there's the Chiefs.
Here you go,
Like,
Nicholas. Oh, these are good. These are good stuff.
I'm looking out for the Kansas City Chiefs to get them. I don't know. There's some bad mojo. They need a receiver bad. And what do you know? This happens the 2 days or so after Rashee Rice gets injured.
Wow,
How
this
perfect.
is crazy.
How perfect.
Wow.
But like you have to think though, Danny, the 4 teams that make the most sense, I guess 3 of them are the Steelers, Jets, and Chiefs. I don't really know of another team. Maybe the Bills.
Yeah.
Give Josh Allen a weapon, but like I don't know if there might be a surprise team in there, maybe that does something crazy. Could you imagine if like the Bengals are just a surprise team or the Jaguars are a surprise team? There's only a few teams that stick out to me that need wide receiver help ASAP and would completely enjoy Davante Adams on that team. Personally, I would hope more so he's not on the Chiefs just because it would be the Chiefs getting him would completely break the league and break the internet. I think a team like the Steelers or Jets need to make a move. They need to make a move right now. The Jets need more weapons on offense. The Steelers need more weapons on offense. The wide receiving pairing that they could make on either side, you could have a Garrett Wilson, Davante Adams pairing, or a George Pickens, Davante Adams pairing. Pair a young wide receiver with a solid vet. Your friend Nevin over here says the Saints. Saints are as well another pretty nice fit that I'm not even thinking of.
No shot.
I could see it.
He wants to win. He wants to win football games.
Yeah, I'll give that to that too. Personally, before we get back into this Davante Adams, I love how your trending goes Davante Adams, World War III in Iran. I love that. I love how the world currently cares more right now about Davante Adams.
Are we missing? Is something happening in this world where World War III is a thing?
It's trending every other day.
True.
But like Davante Adams, this is a big story. Like as we're talking about this coming out, Ian Rappaport must have been like, "Oh, the final whistle's live. Let's let them break some news."
Facts.
But yeah, everyone's thinking it's going to be the. Oh my gosh, there's the betting odds. Well, I hope it's not the Ravens or Cowboys.
If it's the Ravens,
those aren't fits. I don't see it. I don't see the Cowboys especially.
Yeah, neither do I. Who made these lines? The 33rd team?
Like, it's the Jets and Steelers. I think it's going to be a battle between those two teams. I think, honestly, I'm thinking, hey, look, there's Rodgers. They got him on speed dial. Welcome to the Chargers.
Why are people saying the Ravens?
Maybe because
they're oh, did I not say this?
Oh, yep.
Boom. There we go.
I don't know. See, there's the thing with the Chiefs fit. I don't know if they're going to do a trade within their own division. I know if the Chiefs offer them a lot, they would, but like I'm not a big fan of interdivision trades.
I agree.
There's Mike Tomlin. Who says no? FanDuel. There it is. Chiefs for a first rounder and a fifth rounder. Ooh.
That's a good trade.
That is a very good. So we're thinking it's going to be a first round pick.
Yeah, it's got to be.
Ooh, I was thinking second round, a second and a fourth, or second and a third, but I think they're going to get if the Chiefs offer a first round pick, they're actually, if you want the better first round pick, you would probably want it to be the Jets or Steelers, maybe the Commanders. Yeah. I don't think
scrolling this far on Twitter is never good.
No, I don't think
getting deep there.
I don't think the Chiefs are the perfect fit right now just because of like a trade partner per se.
I think they might be.
Well, I think they're the perfect fit offensively, but like
the interdivision is going to be tough.
The trade partner thing, if the Raiders want a better pick, say the Chiefs win the Super Bowl, they're getting 32nd overall pick in that trade. You probably want a better pick. If you want the better pick, I would go Steelers or Jets.
Yeah. I agree.
And that's not me just saying it because of the wall right there with the Pirates stuff and my inner Steelers.
I think that is a very good point.
Realistically, if the Raiders want more, I wonder, like in my head right now, I'm wondering what Omar Khan and the Steelers are doing right now because this was a team all over Brandon Ayuk. Mm-hmm. They were supposedly about to get it done, and they had a trade offer ready. I wonder if they're just going to use that trade offer to maybe get some leverage, or maybe the Raiders get leverage, I guess, or what the Jets are going to do. But maybe, just maybe on Friday, we have something saying we're doing a show, or maybe we have an emergency podcast. I like to call it. Maybe if a trade goes down, maybe some gut reactions. But yeah, so do you have certain teams in your head right now that we're thinking? Like I gave mine.
Steelers.
Those are your two.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm giving three, I'm putting the Jets in there. Maybe the Commanders. Imagine him and Scary Terry as your 1 and 2 guys. Now that's a present to give Jaden Daniels. That is an absolute gift to give a rookie QB. Yeah. Caleb Williams might have thought he was getting the whole world, getting Keenan Allen and DJ Moore. Could you imagine Jaden Daniels if he shows up for a game, his next game or whatever, shows up to the practice facility and Davante Adams is there with Scary Terry catching footballs in the jug machine? But
I wonder why.
There's a gut feeling inside of me, Danny, that thinks he's going to be a Chief.
Yeah.
I think it's the trade in the division I hate, but like I think he's a Chief. I think it might be the Kansas City Chiefs. It's a perfect fit as much as we don't want it.
True. I don't not want it. I think that it's the best fit. I think it's the most likely.
Like they just lost Pacheco. They just lost Rashee Rice. They don't have a wide receiver one. It's Xavier Worthy, who's a rookie. I guess. Carson Steele, their top running back right now. They need an offensive weapon. As much like Nicholas just said, the fan base in the NFL would probably throw up, but it just makes sense. This is like Darth Vader and the Death Star. It's like Andy Reid showing up in a Darth Vader suit. The Chiefs are the Death Star. They're just pointing the laser at the entire league, and this is like the Imperial Star Destroyer coming in to join them. Davante Adams. That's practically what this is. That's what it's going to be because I think it might happen.
Yeah.
That might be what a metaphor to use, but like I hope maybe we have an emergency podcast sometime this week before Thursday night football, possibly. Yeah. Who knows? Because they're saying he might have played his last snap. Keep an eye out on certain teams, especially Steelers, Jets, Commanders, and Chiefs.